It takes a bloodthirsty captain to kill a bloodthirsty cloud. Kirk is determined to hunt down a vampire entity he failed to destroy in the past. And we're talking all about it in this classic watch/rewatch cast. This is Star Trek Universe, and we are talking all about Star Trek 218 Obsession. Right after these words from withered and drained crewmen. The only thing red they got left is their shirts, damn it. Welcome into Star Trek Universe. This is the classic watch/rewatch, where I am rewatching Star Trek in production order, or really whatever makes sense at the time, and enjoying it with my great friend and Trek newcomer, Effie Pelders, who has never seen it.
That would be me. I have never seen this. No, wait, I mean, I have seen it once, but, you know, like a week ago. So
right.
We'll see how much I remember.
That was my fuck up. You're like, I watched it, and I was like, shit.
I was like, let's put on the pressure to get a recording together soon, and then shit happened in life, as it always does, and now I'm like, yeah, I watched this, but I don't know. I don't know if I have enough of the specifics to be like, oh, right, this is what happened in between the cloud appearing and the cloud dying. Because there was fun stuff, and I'm trying to reread some of it and be like, oh, right, the synopsis is very helpful, thank you. Mm-hmm. But I feel like a lot of the charm and the power of Trek is in the lines, in the interactions, in the character stuff. It feels like it's reductive to be like, oh, right, this happened plot-wise. Because that's not the most interesting stuff. It's like, no, there was the ensign that had a father, and there's the whole dynamic there, and Kirk being, like, asked to act a lot more than usual, and Spock and McCoy actually questioning him and having to go through protocol, like, what? How do we deal with this fucking version of Kirk while people are actively dying as a consequence, both of staying here and of not going to the place where we need to be? That's the central conflict. And then, you know, the gaseous cloud is kind of a bonus.
Right.
It's just, we need some spectacular effects to keep the kids entertained, I guess.
Keep the kids entertained.
Look, it's a cloud! Isn't that what kids were looking at back in the day? I presume that's what kids were looking at back in the day. Yeah. Look, it's a cloud. It has no shape, but it kills you.
That's true.
Yeah. It's all the toys they had in the 60s. I don't know, man. I am going out on a limb at this point.
I will say there are things I like about this episode, but I don't really like this episode.
It's mid in the grand scheme of what we've seen. It's not outstanding, like, partially because the plot elements are just kind of replaceable in that sense, where it's like, oh, you didn't really go beyond something is sucking the red blood cells, whatever, make it a bunch of smoke. So that it's wise in terms of production and you know, money, but other than that, it is it is just it's all right, but it isn't one that stuck in my mind for the past week where I was like, oh God, I can't stop thinking about this conundrum. Or remember that one moment when the one guy, I mean, I've also just been watching a lot of other shows, and Peacemaker it's taking up more brain space. But generally, it is one of those that's just, it's all right. It's good, but it's not, like, it doesn't actively, I'm not laughing at it while I'm watching it so much. Right. Like, it's not one of the really ones. Because there is a lot of interesting conversation, and McCoy and Spock actually having their discussion about what Kirk is doing, and Kirk being really, and the parallels, of course, with the guilt in the ensign and in Kirk, for and the not taking the shot thing, and there's there's stuff going on. Like there is a lot to like. It's just not everything's there to love. But
right,
not all ducks are in a row every week.
Well, I started out with going. This is clearly Moby Dick in space. This is, and I think the first draft was actually called Moby Dick in space.
I saw that and I was like, yeah, of course. That's exactly what it is. It is very much, Kirk needs some reason, some guilt trip to be drawn in to chase something he couldn't kill last time. Because he was young and he flinched and yeah.
But I'm also like, I'm going, okay, so we've already done this in Star Trek. We had Captain or Commodore Decker going after the Doomsday Machine. We've also already had like crewmen KO'd by a vampire in the Man Trap from season 1, except in this case it was a salt vampire.
There's a lot of vampiric entities out there in space.
And I'm fine with that, but we've also seen gaseous clouds, which
absolutely.
Some of these shots or some of the shots in the original certainly looked like very much looked like Metamorphosis, the energy cloud from Metamorphosis with Zephram Cochrane.
I definitely remembered the name Zephram Cochrane, but I can't place him to a face, but it's a funny name that will be stuck in my mind forever.
This is the guy that invented warp drive, and then he gets down there, and the companion was in love with him, but the companion was also keeping him alive, and Yep. I know. See, there is always the description of the guy that I remember, and the name of the guy where I'm like, I don't know who that is, but it sounds fun. Yeah.
Sometimes I have trouble linking those two.
Sure.
But thank you. Thank you for the heads up.
Now, in my head, I also like that this goes back to a certain feeling of the Gene L. Coon Trek, where it was like, there be monsters here. Space is dark and full of death, and
there's lots of vampiric entities in space.
There's some fucked up Lovecraftian shit out here in outer space.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that. Oh, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, dude, I have to show you a video. Someone posted, it's real dumb. It's an altered clip from this episode on YouTube. And it's been around for like 15 years, but we'll line it up and we'll edit it in with your reaction. But I'll post it also in the show notes so people can actually see the video portion of it.
Oh, no. Oh, God. It's a good thing. I'm looking forward to this. It's a solid title, man. Solid title. Let me turn on my sound. Yeah. God.
You smell that? A sweet odor like honey.
Oh, God. That's so fucking childish. It's amazing.
It's so stupid.
That is great. That is very stupid, and I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are welcome. All right. So.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I don't even know what I was saying.
Right. This was relevant in some way.
Okay. Here's what it is.
The cloud. Yeah. Gene L. Coon, Lovecraftian shit. Yeah.
I love that there's this creature out there that apparently can 100 light years away show up on a different planet. And Kirk is like, I know that smell.
That's impressive. That must be one recognizable stank.
Well, they keep going, sweet, sickly, sweet, like honey. Everyone's saying honey. I'm like, in the future, they just fucking hate honey, I guess. They're like, oh my God, I fucking smell honey. It's that vampire again.
It could have just been a bunch of space bees, technically.
Yeah. Why would you say...
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a cloud, but...
So there are like... For me, this episode kind of hinges on a lot of contrivances. Like,
yeah, it is. Like, as soon as you mentioned, it showed up on a wildly different planet way far off, I remembered being like, okay, so how the fuck did it do that? Why didn't it just... How do we even defeat something like that? Like,
right.
There is a lot of... What like you said, there is a contrivance in there where it's like, it's too powerful and at the same time as not being all that fleshed out.
Well, it bothers me that, like, one, I mean, they did say it was 100,000 or 100,000 light years away.
Yeah.
Kirk does not even assume that it might be a different member of this species.
Exactly.
It's the same motherfucker. It is the same motherfucker.
There's just this one fucking cloud. It cannot be another cloud. They would smell differently sweet. Like, no, what are we? Yeah, no, I figured, this is just a thing that exists, but why would there only be one? That is weird.
Yeah, and why so far apart? And they're already talking about the entire time, it can change itself. It knows what we're looking for now, so it's changing what
the particle scanner thing, that's vaguely interesting. Like, there being some shapeshifty stuff within the molecules. That's an interesting given, but there's not much...
They don't do anything
to do with that. No, exactly. Like, they're not exploring that. They're just using it as an excuse why they can't just scan the planet and be like, oh, there it is. While it has, the idea has more potential than that.
Mm-hmm. And then they're going to bring up, like, so Kirk is in the middle of his, like, obsession. Like, I don't know what it means.
The title is Obsession. I got to be obsessed. Yeah.
And then Ensign Garevik shows up. And Kirk is like, was he your father? And he's like, yes, sir. And of course it has something to do with this creature.
Of course, the right ensign is always aboard for him to remember their father. That's a given.
Fucking hate this. I hate that idea because like I don't like the surprise of Garevik showing up for Kirk. Like, I think Kirk, if Captain Garevik was everything Kirk thought he was, it would have made sense.
He would fucking know what ensign is aboard.
Right.
Like, he would have seen him on the list and been like, oh, right, that guy.
Not
that guy's
even.
Son. I already feel bad about this before the cloud shows back up.
See, I think even, like, if Garevik is everything Kirk said he was, and meant everything he said he was, I would have thought, and they could have had Kirk say this, too. Like, say, like, he's been watching Ensign Garevik's career. He requested him on the ship to help guide him, return the favor of everything Garevik did for him.
Of course,
You know, he can even say,
he wouldn't show up that late in the episode. He would have just... Like, you would start with that. You would start with, I'm trying to guide this young man because of what his father meant to me and did for me. And
you could they could have said he was on the ship for months and just like introduced the idea that Kirk thinks it's the same entity and then realizes I need to go tell Garevik, and then have McCoy in a turbo lift being like, how has he been doing, since you brought him on a few months ago? That's the kind of shit
to tell that story, but there is no backstory in that sense. There's just, he happens to be here.
Yeah, I hate the he just happens to be here.
I get that. Yeah,
thing. I hate.
It's like, and he just happens to be the one who comes up the elevator for when they need another ensign. Yeah, that's a waste of potential. Yeah.
I think it is weak that they made Kirk right about everything when he's clearly being a complete tool and crazy. I think like. There was no call for him to just like abandon the whole idea of going with those vaccines to that planet or meeting up with the Yorktown, like just to mess around with this fucking alien. Like, no, dude, like go do the vaccine thing and then come back. Like the fucking
exactly. Like this cloud is probably not going anywhere. Like it could leave and come back, but in that sense, like, do you need to kill it now? It's very revenge driven. It is that Moby Dick where you're like, okay, this guy is not quite being logical. Like, and that is, like you said, we've had the Doomsday Machine where we already saw that come to its logical fucking conclusion, namely the Moby Dick way of, it's not going to end well for you, son. But now you're doing it with Kirk, which is, yes, more interesting because we care about Kirk, but also not more interesting because we know Kirk can't leave the fucking show. He's gonna win against this fucking cloud, which kind of defeats the purpose of he's obsessed, but also he catches the fucking white whale.
Right.
Sure. Now, good job, Kirk. Now we can go back to delivering vaccines a bit late.
Right. But also he's hesitating to like just like he hesitated to shoot the fucking phaser, he's hesitating to like take the fucking vaccines because this thing might be going out somewhere and taking out more people. I get that, like they did adequately come up with a vague and horrific enough reason that Kirk is so obsessed. Like, this thing killed 200 people.
Yeah. No, it is absolutely like, oh, there is trauma there. Like, it makes total sense for Kirk to be that triggered. But at the same time, it doesn't necessarily make sense for him to abandon vaccines. And it is very much the complete shift to now we're irrational. Now we're just here because, oh, he killed some of my crewmen now, and I need to stop this because it will happen again. It is very much, and it makes sense. Like, there is enough believability in that trauma, that past hurt. But yeah, it is hard to watch because of the you can't go with him. Like, you can't really agree with what he's doing all the way. It just happens to work out. But if it had taken half a day longer, like, at some point those vaccines were going to expire. And so,
but it's all wonderfully vague.
Exactly. But many more people would have died.
Yeah. And they don't tell us.
Assuming the vaccines get there in time still.
Yeah.
But we don't really know that, do we?
Well, they just say those people they just need the vaccine. They're not, they never said people are dying. They never said,
that's
like,
right. No, it's an influenza vaccine. It's fine. It's just, they might get a fever.
It's a facsimile of a ticking clock because they never tell you how long. They're like, they're very perishable. Okay, how long is it going to be before they perish? We're not going to talk about that.
No one specifies the ticking clock to be like, oh, well, we need 3 days to get there and they'll perish in 5. So we have it's day 2 now and you're fucking this over. Like, that would be more concrete even.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it also doesn't make sense to do that because at that point you're sort of linking our max warp speed and fuel to how many days it takes to get to a certain light. At that point, you're doing maths.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that because you got to keep it vague what the fuck warp 8 means.
Yeah, you do.
Because otherwise, you're always going to be like, well, why the fuck didn't they go warp 14 now?
Right. But, the problem for me really is that, like, even before he knew it was the same creature.
Yeah.
Right? Which I guess that they were trying to, that's what they were trying to say, is that the scent was the communication that was the same creature. And that's how Kirk knew it was intelligent. Like, this thing was communicating in some way that it was the same thing. To what end? We don't know because they never negotiate with it or communicate with it. They fucking kill it as soon as they can.
Exactly. So that's why I'm not even sure I took it that way because I was just like, oh, this is a bunch of assumptions, and we're just meant to go with it because I didn't see the clear logic. Because I assumed like it might be a species. They might all smell vaguely the same because he can practically just shapeshift into molecules that smell that way. Does it mean that's the same cloud? No, but it's very coinkydinky, so but it could be a species thing still, where it's like, oh, we like these fucking particles to announce our oncoming blood sucking.
Hello, you're about to die. Enjoy my honey queef.
Oh, it's so sweet. You'll be like totally frozen in place because it's just so pleasant, and oh god, it's so sickly sweet, and I cannot shoot.
Honey queef.
That is what the best queefs smell like.
Yeah, that's right. Look,
you heard it here first.
I mean, I hope they haven't heard it here first. My God,
they haven't heard a queef first here, or they haven't heard about honey being the best smell for queefs.
That one specifically.
Yeah, okay. You hope they've heard that elsewhere before.
Yes, of course.
Where?
I don't know, anywhere.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Just, your big brother telling you stuff in high school, and
I don't know about that. Look, this is a podcast for adults.
I think that's been abundantly clear.
We are in SFW, folks. And we are reviewing a fucking 60-year-old show.
I think that's gonna, deter a lot of Gen Z. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like if you're at least as old as we are, which you're much younger than me.
Much, but yeah, there's like a decade in between, but whatever.
Right. We have a decade between us. But if you don't know,
our age, yeah.
If you haven't heard somewhere, or at the very least imagined that the best kind of queef would have to be a honey queef.
Yeah, I figured in that case, you just haven't been thinking about queefs.
That's right.
Which is, frankly, just, that's a waste of lifetime.
Right.
You could have been thinking about queefs a whole lot more across the years you've been here.
Right.
Yeah. You could have been smelling them, frankly. Like,
some people might not have been able to, but
sure, but like at least half of the world can produce them, so they could smell their own.
Possibly.
If you're flexible enough, it's easier. But if you're not, it's still a gaseous cloud. Like,
right.
You can smells are
just hot box yourself in a closet or something.
Exactly. Like there are ways.
And you're just like, oh God, that it wasn't like honey. What do I do?
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, that's what we have ChatGPT for.
Exactly. And ChatGPT will tell you to eat a lot more honey if you want your queefs to smell like honey.
Right.
Or glue. Either or. It depends on the ChatGPT of the day. It's the new models are even worse. God, we're in an AI bubble. Don't get me started on this. Anyways,
I wasn't.
No, my brain was very much going there, and I was like, nope, don't rant about the uselessness of AI on a podcast about Star Trek. But yeah, the Gen Z listeners are clearly. I just realized, like, if there are going to be Gen Z Star Trek fans, they might be the type that just gets introduced to the new Paramount shit and then goes back and is like, this Nimoy guy, it's not the greatest Spock. I don't like his acting, and like that's wild to me. Where like, oh god, people like that are gonna exist across time. It's not gonna get. It's gonna get worse in that sense.
All right.
Where they go back and are like, that's not Spock, and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
You can't help those kinds of people.
No. Well, we can try. This podcast really is a reaching out a hand to help those people, specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people say like Quinto is my Spock, and I'm like, externally, I'm like, that's fine. Internally, I'm screaming that Quinto is not even Quinto's Spock.
Sorry, what does that mean?
Zachary Quinto played Spock in the Abrams
No,
movies.
I know. Like, I remember that, but how is he not his own Spock? Like, what are we...
He's not his own Spock because Nimoy was his Spock.
Oh, in that sense, yeah, of course. Like, he is absolutely drawing from Nimoy.
He's trying.
Of course, that's the only thing he's got. Like, yeah, he's trying because Abrams probably gave him some fucking direction to go elsewhere. Like, there's a script and stuff.
I don't want to be hateful about Zach Quinto, but I will say he's just Sylar from Heroes. I'm sorry. Everything he plays, he's just fucking Sylar.
Fair enough. I haven't seen Heroes. I also don't remember enough of the Star Trek movie that he plays in, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's just, like, if you watch Spock, his Spock is just Sylar with pointed ears. And when you see him in an interview, he is just Sylar without murdering people and taking their superpowers. That's it. That's my opinion.
That's murder. Yeah. I'll get to it eventually again, because I've seen the one, but I do definitely remember a lot less repression. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, you're an emotional fucker, man. And this one is too, but in a very different way.
Yeah. And you know what? I love the original series so much, and it's like it's like my favorite next to DS9. They're like tied for different reasons and everything. But the thing that keeps me from being, when people are like, oh, you always side with the original series shit. Yeah, you're a purist. I go, no. Pine is my favorite Kirk.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Fair. That's a hot take. I love it. He very much has the face and the like. Yeah,
he does the Shatner stuff, but he tones it down so much.
Yeah, exactly. Like Chris Pine is he's a better actor. Like,
He is.
So it's hard not to like not remembering all of what I've seen of him. It makes total sense.
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, this is the guy you kind of want to play him.
Yeah.
He's very good at that thing. There is a reason he is cast in that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pine over Pratt all day.
I'll take all the original people aside from Shatner. Bring in Pine.
That's fair. Yeah, because I can't think of any other TOS people I really feel like, oh no, they should be recast. Like no, like. There are many where I'm like, it's gonna be hard for me to see any other face, you know.
I in some ways, not in every. No, it's hard for me. I might like Anton Yelchin more than Walter Koenig as Chekhov.
Chekhov.
Yeah.
I don't remember that guy really. Like I know this Chekhov but he's also not given a lot to do besides be a goof.
Right. And you know, and
which he has the face and the hair for, I guess. But
I'll have everyone complaining. Look,
yeah, that's a good point.
Here's the thing. I recognize that everyone in the J.J. Abrams movies are going off of previously established characters by all of these original people, and William Shatner absolutely has like a place in the pantheon and fucking is wonderful and does a fantastic job in several of these most of these episodes, honestly. And I've always stuck by the premise that the overacting aspect of Shatner is overstated.
Yeah. No, people make fun of it more than it actually is bothersome within the context of the show. Totally.
So far, you haven't gotten to season 3 yet, where they really didn't have money.
That is absolutely fair. That is absolutely fair. I haven't seen all of it yet. I'm here to watch it for the first time. I've never seen shit.
When they really run out of money and time, ooh boy, nobody knows.
Especially time, though.
Especially Shatner.
You can ride around money if you have time. You don't have time, you're fucked on all fronts. If you're trying to shoot an episode in 3 days, you go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting. And going back to the episode here, I love the way that McCoy and Spock confront Kirk, and they all do it very like diplomatically, like this is within the rules and this is what we're going to do. And Kirk is like, fuck your book. Just talk to me like a person. And he's like, all right, you guys have come at this the right way. I appreciate that. Here's what I didn't like that he was not as crazy as he was coming off. Like, I didn't like that he wound up being so right about what the creature was and exactly like.
Yeah, that kind of irks. It is irksome when you are setting up the he is obsessed, but also he has to be right because he's the hero of the fucking story. That's where it rubs two ways, where you're like, okay, he's going Moby Dick on us, but also he's completely figuring shit out and being smart about it. Like,
here's something I didn't feel like he was being.
He's not exactly being smart about it, but you get what I mean. He is proven right at most terms.
So this was
he gets out of that conversation. He wiggles through the protocols. Yeah. Like who wrote these protocols where he can just technically be like, okay, I'll take it under advisement. Go fuck yourself. I'm still in charge.
Right. Well, he proved himself though to some degree, and then they had this thing where like he tells Scotty. He tells Scotty, try, because the thing is in the ship. Mm-hmm. The thing is in the fucking ship. He goes, try flushing the radioactive waste into the ventilation system.
Did he? Oh my God. That is insane.
See what effect that has. And then they're all like, sorry, Jim, I was wrong. Like, no, he just fucking pumped radioactive waste into the ventilation system.
Yeah,
the
that
entire
sounds
crew
like everyone should be dead.
is about to die.
Yeah. Christ's sake, yeah. Oh my God. Like, is everyone just breathing this shit now? Apparently.
Yeah. There's not
Let's
enough
not
meat.
think too much.
And not enough meat in this episode. There's not enough meat to Kirk being questioned. No. Yeah. And he's being reckless as fuck, is all I'm saying.
Exactly. That is absolutely the entire point of this episode, but it has to work out, which makes it less satisfying because people are trying to call him out on that shit, but they are ultimately going to be proven wrong because he's doing the right thing or some shit.
Yeah.
And it ends up working out, making Kirk just a lucky bastard, really.
Right.
Instead of him being totally proven wrong and fucking up the vaccines and some star system dying off. So that's but you can't go there with the story because you want Kirk to, not be fucked over for the rest of the show. So it's a flawed concept to start with in that sense. And I do want to commend the acting in that scene where he seems less fucking insane for a minute. Like I do get the sense that is still under the surface in that scene. I still watched it like, oh, he is containing himself now just to get through the protocol bullshit and talk Spock and McCoy out of this and appear rational while he could also snap at any minute and be like, fire everything on that, I did feel it that way. I mean, I've seen it once, but it is an interesting scene because of that, because I feel like he's acting his acting,
So yeah, I don't. Man, it's so tough for me to like look at this thing and just go, because like, look, they come across this idea that the creature now can travel between planets. Creature can go to warp 8, maybe
apparently.
More.
Yeah, insanity.
They shoot phasers at it. It just fucking doesn't do anything. Which, that's nice for Kirk and Ensign Garrett because it wouldn't have done anything. It wouldn't have done anything. Stop blaming yourself. Okay, but you don't know that, like, there's no reason to have believed at the time. You both still fucking froze. No, it wouldn't have mattered, but you both still froze. And that's a problem.
Like, it would have been more logical if there was something about the smell that paralyzed. Because that would have made it interesting, where it's like your victim is sort of has that moment of shock where they cannot act. Because we sort of see that in the first scene, even with those... with the red shirts who don't know what's coming. But that would give it some semblance of insect-like, predatory. There's an intelligence there.
Yeah.
And now it's just it's a magical fucking thing that's it can shapeshift its particles and its radiation and just its entire atomic existence, but also move those atoms across space really fucking fast, and also it's invincible practically because it can just move the atoms out of the way or something. I don't know.
So
how do phasers work?
It can change itself on a molecular level. It can go to warp speed. Why are they so certain that blowing a fucking crater into this planet and killing all the wildlife that happened to be in it?
Yeah, let's not think about that. Yeah.
killed this creature where they're like, all right, well, we don't even have to check. Let's just go get those vaccines for the people. I'm like, what?
Yeah. It is very much, we lured him close enough to where he couldn't warp 8 out of here. Do you know how close to light speed? Like, that is fast, presumably.
Like, warp speed is light speed.
Straight up. Yeah, exactly.
Warp 1 is light speed. So, like...
Well, that makes... what the fuck is warp 8 then? But let's without the maths, light speed is like that leave. If you can beam out of there, that motherfucker can go straight up into space before anything blows up. Right. That is how light speed works.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You did not think this through.
This whole episode is not thought.
No, it isn't.
Which is insane. When you realize that and you look and see how many fucking drafts there were of this episode.
Oh no. Oh God. I want to know?
I didn't count. It was just a lot.
It was
just way too many.
But that is like, I feel like those drafts were then probably just there to add stuff, be like, this isn't enough. Let's bring in an ensign whose father was there so Kirk can feel more guilty and have him repeat the cycle. And it is like they have to, if some of it feels like padding.
It is like when you don't know what you're going to put into a soup or a stew, and you just keep throwing in good things.
Yeah, and you're like,
then they make a shitty thing.
Yeah, no, it's not how it works. It just not all the good flavors will come through. Sometimes you just end up with a lot of fucking honey. Just too sweet. Yeah. It's just too sweet.
Sickly.
Sickly sweet. Not to be confused with Sydney Sweeney.
Right. There was some really good dialogue in here.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Those were there. Yeah.
I did laugh. I did laugh when like the one ensign guy is like in the hospital bed or whatever in sick bay, and like Kirk like leans down like right up into his ear and he's like, wake up.
Yeah.
It's the captain.
That's how medicine works.
You're a creep. Like, why are you like whispering in this dude's ear? Like,
if you get closer and you whisper, it'll get into their brain deeper, so they wake up even when they're unconscious. You know.
There was also a bit.
It's medicine.
There was also a bit I laughed really hard at in shame. Because Ensign Garrovick goes into his quarters after Kirk like banished him there for fucking being scared for a second.
How dare you?
Well, Kirk was mad at himself. That's what
exactly.
But Garrovick like walks into his quarters and just throws himself onto the bed and like very dramatically throws that arm over his eyes.
It is very much telegraphing, I cannot act how to cry, but I am crying, you know?
Which was weird because I thought he was a really good actor in the interrogation scene.
Exactly, but that moment I remember being like, okay, we're just pretending to be upset now in the most dramatic fucking overacting fashion where you're like, how small are the TV screens that this is necessary?
Suddenly he became like a 16-year-old girl in a 1950s sitcom who just got broken up with by the guy in the Letterman jacket.
For the first time. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
It was very specifically that character in that era.
Yep. Exactly. It was. I agree. Yeah, that's the vibe I got where it's like, oh my God, this is how we're conveying. Okay, sure. But there were scenes where he was fine, but when he had no lines, apparently he had to resort to that. Or that's the direction he was given. Let's not, completely fuck over the guy's memory.
I did really enjoy Nurse Chapel in this episode. They didn't give her a lot, but they gave her this great bit with the Garrovick. One,
you have to fucking eat.
You have to eat, and then she's like, "This is a prescription or whatever. This is orders from McCoy. It just says eat, and if you don't, he's got to do this."
Exactly. Course, just I will force feed you, bitch, and it's just there to pressure him, and it's delightful. Yeah, captain's orders, bitch. Just go there. Well, medical orders in this set, but
And then McCoy is like, what is this? I thought you were just going to give food to Garrovick. She's like, applying psychology.
Exactly. I love, but also that's a little bit of world building where it's like a Servian-Signian respiratory diseases where you're like, that could have been anything, but they had to make something up, and it's fun.
Yeah. We have a great quote where Spock says, I need your advice. And McCoy says that I need a drink.
Yeah, I love that one. That one's just forever great. But that's the good thing about getting those two in a situation where they have to sort of work together to talk to Kirk. Because these are his two best friends. And if they're not on the same page, Kirk will definitely not listen. So, it is, the banter remains good shit.
Yeah. I do love McCoy whenever he's around for the most part. And he says this great line, monsters come in many forms. You know the greatest monster of them all, Jim? Guilt. And there's part of me that
what's going on.
Yeah. Part of me just wants Kirk to be like, no, you know what? I think the shape-shifting warp speed fucking monster that can like kill people just by like floating around them, I think that's the worst monster. My guilt isn't going to kill 200 fucking crewmen. Bones.
No, but it's going to kill the entire fucking planetary system that needs a vaccine not to die, right?
For fuck's sake.
I think McCoy has a point there where it's like, it's a horrible monster to deal with, and also it will make you do worse shit than the Cloud can do. Yeah. Because if they hadn't stayed, the Cloud would have had a lot less people to kill.
It's a vaccine for chlamydia, for fuck's sake.
Hey, don't judge the orgy planet.
25 colonists have chlamydia. What the fuck is wrong with you, Bones?
But, no, it's worse. It's vaccines. So it's not the antibiotics to cure the chlamydia. It's very much preventative. They know they will all get chlamydia from having the orgy they've been planning for months, and they just want it to be easier on them.
It was the only time I could get off work. I really need that.
God damn it, that Saturday's been in my calendar for months now. I need the anti-chlamydia vaccine.
And then my next weekends are all full. I've got, my nephew's got a birthday. I'm just not going to be.
One hot girl isn't there, and, God, yeah.
She's only going to be in town for this.
Yeah, exactly. She's not going to be there for the next, and then those two are, going to marry, and now they can still join in as fiancés. So
right.
Yep.
Anyway,
this is how orgy planning goes. Presumably, I have no experience.
I would imagine there's way more talk about like what's the best value tarp and or plastic bag to invest in.
You make a solid point. Yeah. But also you want to be comfy enough so you're not just going to, murder wrap the entire apartment with plastic like you're going to shoot someone. That's not, it's not the same. It is very much, how about a big carpet we can roll up after and just throw the fuck away? Like something soft. What kind of bed sheets do we, can we afford to burn after? That sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I was invited to an orgy once.
That's one more than I've ever been invited to. Yeah. God damn it.
Dude, I was delivering a pizza and
oh God, yeah. It tends to be those stories. Like if I had to guess, it would have been one of those where it's like, oh, let me guess, you were, they opened the door naked again and you're like, oh, there we go again. And then they invite you in for an orgy.
No. Okay. So there were people who would open the door naked to get a reaction and stuff.
Yeah,
from time to time.
I lost a bet, whatever the fuck.
But I went to a door and the person who opened the door was a girl I knew from school.
Oh, that's somehow more awkward.
She liked me and had tried to get me into situations before, and I'd always been in a relationship or something.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I'm not sure I would have anyway, but
exactly. But yeah.
So she
at
opens
some point
the door.
You're trying too hard. If it comes to orgy invitations, yeah.
I mean, she was never a try hard about it.
That's good.
Yeah, no, she's
never mind. Sorry,
dude. She was like smooth as shit. Like, but no, she
just clearly interested. Yeah.
Yeah, she opens the door. I mean, she literally got up and locked my door one time. So,
that's not subtle.
And got into bed with me, and I was like, rapey. I am in a relationship.
Yeah, this is a bad way to do this, honey.
And my roommate was in there with us. We were all watching Buffy or Angel or something, and then he gets up to go to the bathroom, and she like gets up and locks it. Anyway,
oh my God,
so that was a thing.
Fair enough. No, it's forward. I'll give her that. It's cool, but not when you're clearly monogamous. But yeah,
right. But she had, she opened the door and she had like a little glass of wine, and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And she's like, "Hey," and then she was like, "We're gonna start probably around 11," and I was like, "Start what?" And I'm like,
naive question.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm like,
I wasn't invited. I didn't get the memo.
No, I don't know any of these people.
Yeah,
fuckers in the background with those like massive like plastic bags that you use to like put leaves in for your yard, out in the suburbs.
Right,
like those giant trash bags. They're just rolling them out,
just ripping them open, and just making sure nothing gets wet. Yep. Okay.
And they're all like holding their.
You gotta know how many squirters are coming. It's coming over. I mean, God damn it.
Yeah.
There's a pun in there.
I know.
I'm gonna ignore that one.
I know. I didn't
Sometimes
think I
it's unintentional. Yeah, no, that's fair. But it was silent, and I felt the urge to fill it. Sometimes you gotta fill the silence.
But no, I was like, no, I actually have to close tonight. So.
Ah, shit. Well, you can come later, you know.
I was like,
if you
darn.
Oh, shucks. Oh, man. I can't be here until, like, 1:30. Oh, you must be spent by then. Bye.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, God.
But, you know, I did make her laugh, though, because I was like, you sure you want the pizzas? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, there's a lot of gastric issues in here. It's like the tomato sauce, and you guys got a bunch of sausage and pepperoni. Like, you're going to get in the middle of stuff, and
yeah,
all
that's
of a sudden,
fair. That's not wise. Your intestines are going to be saboteurs in this context. My goodness. Yeah. That's not wise.
Those will not be honey queefs.
Exactly. Yeah. I love me a tuna pizza, but I wouldn't do it that night, you know?
Oh, Lord.
I would just get something very bland. Like, you're not going to put anchovies or... No, just go with a basic-ass margarita and hope you're not lactose intolerant that night. Like, that's just the respectable thing to do.
Yeah. You got to be careful.
Exactly. Be considerate of your other orgy parties. Partners. God damn it.
All right.
How did we get here? Did we mention this was a not suited for work show? Oh, right, we did numerous times because it keeps coming back to this kind of shit.
We are who we are, you know.
Exactly. I have another story for you that will off air. We'll get there.
Okay. All right.
Back to track.
All right. So, I love the continual, I love the continuity of McCoy, even in these old episodes, just hating the fucking transporter. Crazy way to travel, spreading a man's molecules all over the universe. Like, he just hates it. He hates it. And I love that.
Yeah. It's a good detail, and it's, I feel like it's something that doesn't come up often enough where I'm like, oh, I could have forgotten that he specifically has an issue with it, because he also has to use it all the fucking time. Like, he's down on that planet. He didn't climb a ladder. Like, what the fuck? Like,
right.
Of course, he's beaming. But yeah, it is one of those things where I feel like it has to be slightly more consistently like, oh God, I'm nauseous. This fucking way of traveling. I hate it. And that.
Yeah.
But it is, it is a good character to have in there where not everyone is just like, this is normal.
Yeah. It's like, he's like, okay, I got to do this all the time. I'm not going to bitch about it all the time. But then, like, you're seeing, like, a fucking bomb explode, and they're having trouble getting them back, and McCoy's like, it's my chance to grouse about it again. Fucking bullshit.
See,
spreading a man's
technology doesn't fucking work.
It's bullshit.
What if we don't get them back right? Yeah, no, very, very motivational if you're standing there trying to save some people's bodies.
You blew up an antimatter bowling ball, for Christ's sake.
Yep. Yeah, that is how this concludes, isn't it? Yeah.
You know what? I will say I was somewhat impressed, because they don't make a big deal out of it, but the fact that Garvik and Kirk go down there and they're holding this thing that's floating, and they're guiding it, and then, like, they keep making a point to have Garvik, like, step away from it, and the other side of it just keeps floating.
Yeah. Like they did that
kind of
pretty
cool.
nicely. It has that sort of like it has the clearly practical effect wobble where you're like, oh, this is good shit, but it does work very well.
Yeah,
it's
there would be a little inertia,
clearly
maybe
not CG, but it's fun. Yeah, there's that the way it moves is nice. The same way that what else was I gonna? There was something else that moved very nicely. I forgot about it.
Penis?
Oh, I think I wanted. No, yes, penis moved very nice. No, the effects of the gaseous cloud. It's just reversing footage mostly, but that slightly sped up reversed footage does give it sort of character where the smoke actually seems to do something like that. It's a simple trick, but it works just as well as it did back then. Where I feel like, this is good shit. Like, it's fairly easy to reproduce, and some shots don't do it that well, where I'm like, okay, but then do it the other way, and you would... But there are a lot of those practical tricks where I'm like, this works, and that's always enjoyable.
I read that this was one of the, this was, I think, maybe the only episode that doesn't use the remastered effects on Netflix. And I was curious if you actually wound up seeing the original version here.
I might have. I don't know, because I just see the version I get to see, and I just assume there might not be that much remastering. I guess.
Well, if you go to this wiki here that I'm sending you,
no, I'm on Memory Alpha. I now see the comparison things at the bottom.
Yeah, which one did you see?
Oh God, this would have been a good question if it hadn't been a week ago.
Yeah.
Let me think. No, dang it. Did I see the giant red planet, or did I see something generically planet? Oh God.
Isn't that sad?
I feel
that the remastered effects have generic Earth-looking planets, and the originals have these
they're just
beautiful, gorgeous, ridiculous colored planets.
Yeah, exactly. It is very much like, these two you can barely tell apart, but the old ones are, they're generic planet shapes, but also at least they look like they have character. They have more contrast. That tends to be the case. But I swear to God,
You don't know?
I think I saw the remastered, because the clouds look weird, and I felt they looked weird in the version I saw.
Yeah.
Because if I had seen the actual puffs of smoke that are, seem to be the original ones, I think I would have been like, hey, these are old effects, and also I like them. Because I think I saw the remastered ones, and I was just not that impressed, because it is very much the early 2000s CGI. Whoa, there's a cloud. And I'm like,
Yeah.
That somehow that feels more dated than the 60s effects, which is the weird thing every time.
Personally kind of think they went a little too far, and it looks a little too 2000s.
Yeah, and it looks just a little weird because it is very much that sort of round, puffy cloud that makes no sense in the vacuum of space. I don't know.
It makes as much sense as, a fucking
the
shape-shifting cloud.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Flying at warp speed.
The other clouds don't make more sense or anything. They just look less perfected in their 3D modeling thing. It's just the shininess of it.
Yeah.
You're like, No, but I feel like I don't remember the red planet, so I think I just saw the fucking brown cavernous canyon shit. And I'm pretty sure it must have been fixed by Netflix. Let's put it that way.
Ah, okay.
Oh well.
That's fine. I was just curious, actually.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't think so. But it might also be a country difference thing, of course.
Oh yeah, it might.
They might just have different, like, the proper video sources in the Netherlands, whereas the US Netflix might have like that one error that someone found. So
yeah, I think they were just saying that it was like possibly they just sent over the wrong file.
Exactly, it happens. And then they send over the right file here. Who knows? We're not gonna investigate Netflix's internal data structure this episode.
Nah. You want to do some trivia?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Let's see. We've talked about that. Like Doomsday Machine, the script for this episode borrowed a page from Herman Melville's Moby Dick. Director Ralph Sineski noted, "I realized from day one that it was a transference of the Captain Ahab Moby Dick battle from the ocean to outer space, but the script was more than the novel's struggle between a man and a big whale. It was a mystery story, if not a whodunit, a what is it? And it was more beyond that. It was a deep penetration into Kirk's psyche, his inner struggle to overcome guilt for his actions in a past incident." I'll give it that at least. He's
it is.
right.
It is. Yeah, it is technically all correct. It just sounds a lot better than it came out, I guess.
It
does. It's all there, those elements. It's just, again, there could have been more depth.
Mm-hmm. On Friday, October 13th, 1967, Sineski left the set at sundown to observe the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur. Producer John Meredith Lucas took his place for those few hours, making his directorial debut, his first contribution to the series, directorially. And he went on to direct 3 episodes, The Ultimate Computer, Elan of Troyes, and the Enterprise incident. At least one of those I love.
We'll get there, and I'm curious to see which one it is.
Yeah. So, this episode reveals more about the biochemistry of Spock's blood, which is based on copper, not iron, and found to be distasteful to the creature. I did enjoy that.
Yeah, it's a fun twist.
Yeah.
And it's nice that I mean, I do wonder why the copper and the green blood, like the coloring still, I don't know, I'm not sure if that makes sense. Maybe that's bronze that would have worked. I don't know. I'm overthinking already. Never mind me.
The episode featured the death of Eddie Paskey's character, Leslie, who was killed by the cloud creature, but reappears in several subsequent scenes throughout the rest of the series, very much alive.
Oh, okay.
According to Paskey, a scene in the script in which Leslie is revived by a miracle potion was never filmed.
Oh, well, that would have been a shitty scene to add.
It would have been. However, no such scene exists in the revised final draft script. Ralph Sineski also confirmed that he did not shoot the scene.
No,
now,
of course not. They all said it didn't happen, but it might have been in an earlier version. Okay, sure.
It might have been an early version, but also may have been... I think he was Shatner's stunt double, so he just kind of got to stick around too.
Sure. that makes it a lot easier to keep him employed.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would have been weird. Also, at least, I mean, when Memory Alpha says subsequent scenes, do they mean later episodes in production or later in timeline? Because I know
both.
Some motherfucker has been ordering by star date in the captain's logs, but
they didn't keep up with star dates in the original series.
They didn't give a shit. Fair enough.
Yeah, no one can really.
Okay.
Jerry Irez, whose character Rizzo was killed by the cloud creature, also played Ensign O'Herlihy in Arena, another doomed redshirt character. He had his hair dyed lighter in this appearance to lessen the resemblance.
That's dedication, frankly, for a small role to be like, oh, we got to dye your hair, man, because people will recognize you from a past episode. Like, I like that. Because, if it's a different ensign, great. But if you're still called Leslie, then that's kind of, come on, man. Somebody think of this.
Mm-hmm. George Takei does not appear in this episode.
There's always someone, I feel, from the main cast who just doesn't show up because they don't have the room in the ensemble to be like, you're involved.
No, Takei was off shooting the Green Berets. Like
Right.
We've talked about this. He's gone. He's been gone.
That's right.
He's been gone.
That's right. I haven't seen him in a while. Yeah, that's a shame.
Oh,
I miss him. But at least that gives, a bit more space for Nurse Chapel, for Chekhov, for Scotty even to, do some more. It was, Oh well. We'll get him back, right?
The cloud creature was created using a smoke making machine hidden behind the rocks on the planet soundstage set. I did think those looked really good though.
They did look good, but also that was it. Come on.
Absolutely. But it did look good. It looked like it was sentient and coming up.
Yeah, and it looked good, especially I think the reverse, because like I said, like the crawling back behind there looks better somehow because it's slightly faster. Because if you don't fuck with the regular smoke at all, it seems less creature, more just, that's smoke, If it goes forward, like they had to have sped that up to just slightly to get that that movement in there that makes it less organic and more intentional.
Yeah, that's all I've got on this episode.
That's fair. I think we discussed plenty.
Yeah.
For what this episode is, we got quite a bit of podcast out of it.
Absolutely. And we don't want to go too far. We don't want to get obsessed.
That would be a bad, I think. Or would it be good because it works out in the end? Maybe we're right to get obsessed about this episode.
I don't know. I think we've talked too much about queefs in this episode to worry about things getting worked out in the end.
Fair enough. I do remember that at the end, that also made it into the quotes section. The the little exchange between Spock and Scott and McCoy, like the pitchforks and pointed ears, like
yes,
it's one of those jokes where I'm like, it still feels to me like breaking the fourth wall to like the Christian people who are upset by his pointy ears. Because to me, the whole connection with devilish shit, like that's the comparison just rings false every time. Where I'm like, I get it, McCoy, but also come on, shut the fuck up. Just I don't know. It's there is that clear Christian devil parallel that he's making that I just don't see in any other. Like, it doesn't make sense diegetically. I feel it makes sense purely based on the looks as they were perceived in the 60s and not necessarily as they are perceived in that era.
Okay, well, I think...
Which they couldn't have seen coming, I guess, but...
Okay, so here are things. So, at some point, it is revealed by, at least in 2 episodes, that that Satan, or some version of the devil, was... with his pointed ears and his horns and the redness and all that shit, was an alien fucking with us on Earth.
That's
in the Star Trek
hilarious.
canon.
I love that, sure.
So, there's that.
That's good to know. We know now what the devil looks like, I guess. Okay, cool.
I love this quote because it is, to so much of Christianity, like a pearl-clutching type of statement. Because, they're like, Captain, thank heaven. And Spock is like pissed a little bit. He's just like, motherfucker, I did this shit.
Yeah.
And he says, Mr. Scott, there was no deity involved.
Exactly. This is science, bitch.
It was my cross-circuiting to be that recovered them. And, so you didn't have McCoy. Well, thank pitchforks and pointed ears. I like it in as much as like, and also
it is a sort of sarcastic response to the quote unquote blasphemy of being like, this is not godly. This is just, I pulled this lever. Come on now.
And the fact that they got away with that exchange in the 60s makes me happy.
Absolutely. Like, in that sense, it is not necessarily controversial, but like, slightly against the grain where I'm like, okay, they got away with that. Fair enough. But
right.
It doesn't, if you're going to be like, hell was already a fable from the childhood of Pike, like back in the first episode, it feels weird to keep coming back to this. It is very much it feels like a crutch for McCoy to keep making this joke at his ears.
I don't, because, well, I mean, and they haven't done it a ton in Star Trek, but overall, but Pike actively wrestles with his faith in Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's part of his like arc, and that's very interesting to actually involve that. But also, that's a bit before this, and it's.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's. I don't get that vibe from McCoy. Let's put it that way.
I get the vibe from McCoy that he enjoys insulting Spock, and if he can do that by insinuating that Spock is in some way Satan or satanic, I think he's gonna have fun with that because he's a Southern doctor.
Fair enough. Yeah, that makes the southernness of demonic possession is insulting. Yeah, that makes slightly more sense. Yeah, fair.
Also, there is this idea that, even in our world, there is, there's what has been religious text, and then there's what has been, it's been, shifted, it has been translated.
There's a lot of cultural interpretation outside of
incorrectly, but Christianity has totally appropriated so many pagan rituals, so many different cultural things. And furthermore, they have watered it down and they've made it so mainstream that, I mean, biblically, Satan or whatever is not, pointed ears and pitchforks anyway. No. But they've turned it
He's a far more interesting character in that. Yeah.
Right. They've made it such a mainstream. It's like a meme.
The imagery is very well known, but I guess I'm just not attuned enough with 60s Christianity to have ever looked at Spock and been like, oh God, demonic ears. Because he's like, if you had been red instead of slightly pale, greenish, yellowish, I could have seen that. But he just never struck me as all that demonic.
Right. He was originally supposed to be red, too.
And that would have been fun, and then it would have worked wonderfully.
And he ate through a metal plate. He would put energy into a metal plate in his stomach.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's metal.
Yeah. But that's expensive.
Well. It
and
is
also
expensive.
There's
not that much eating on the show anyway. Oh.
They weren't going to let a red pointy-eared guy be a good guy in Star Trek.
God damn it. Oh, well.
But, you know, it's funny, though, that you're talking about that, too, because, like, Star Trek has always been a mirror of what's going on in America. And,
of course.
And just like that, like, you look at the X-Men comics in the 80s and 90s, you know, we had a Catholic priest character called Nightcrawler who looks like a demon. He's blue and he has the pointed ears and he literally has a tail.
Yep.
And then in the 2000s, they wrote it to where when he goes away to his little teleportation zone, he's actually going through a dimension of hell and his father is a demon.
Oh, wow. I never got that far into the character, but that's cool.
That's why they said it for years. Every time he would bamf out, every time he would teleport away, they would smell sulfur. And it's because he's traveling through a hell dimension.
And
he never realized
dark. I love it. Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And I don't mind.
Let's not get further into X-Men and on a Star Trek podcast. Like, at some point, we're so distracted, we'll forget we are on a podcast, and I'll be like, oh, I'll walk around the kitchen and forget that there's a mic still recording. We're just having a chat. You know, I'll have a smoke outside. I'll walk over there. It's not great for podcasting. So, yeah. What's up next?
Help. All right. Next time on the Star Trek Universe Classic Watch / Rewatch, Effie and I fade to black as we face the Lovecraftian horror of existential dread and take lots of stimulants while fighting a big-ass space amoeba. We're talking the immunity syndrome. Until then, Joel and True, live long and prosper. And, of course,
eat a dick, people. Eat a dick.
All right, so long.
Oh, right, yeah. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Star Trek Universe Podcast, a Stranded Panda production. If you'd like to hear more from David C. Robertson, check out the DC On Screen podcast or maladjusted.tv for his web videos. If you'd like to hear more from Matthew Carroll, check out the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast or listen to his music. Just search for Matthew Carroll anywhere you get music.